Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Open Master League and Delphox in that one. This is something that I didn't really think would work out pretty well, but let's take a look at today's video here real quick and see if it actually has any potential to do anything in the Open Master League. And honestly, I was surprised. It actually worked out way better than I expected, and you're going to see it in this video as well. Which is so funny. We're going to see here the opponent having their whole. We were able to basically get the Sacred Fire onto our Delphox here, forcing out the Zacian, and we can go straight for one blast burn here, I think. And it's going to do a ton of damage against the opponent here. We have a 98%, which I actually got from the research, which is kind of funny. Also got one traded afterwards, which was also from the research, which has exactly the same amount of stats, which is kind of funny as well. But yeah, Delphox, very decent one here, 98%, I'm totally okay with that. We will be able to farm on the opponent's Zacian with our Zacian. You see here already, we have a little issue here. We're going to not have close combat onto our own Zacian. We have Play Rough as well as a Wild Charge. But I like this moveset a lot. Like, honestly, it's such a cool moveset to have. And we're going to play it a little bit differently here. So you're going to predict the opponent swapping into their Ho-Oh, and we're going to go ahead and go for the Wild Charge here instead. Going to be able to get the knockout, and we can go for another charge move here. Gonna get the final shoot of the opponent. We can swap into our own Dialga, and we can go for the Draco Meteor to win our first match here. And now we can talk a little bit about how this all went. First set I played, I went 1-4, which is not really ideal, but I had a lot of very close matchups. Second set I played, I went 4-1, which I would have never expected. Like, we are at 3,300 Elo right now. This is leaderboards ranking right now as well. I'm currently even on the leaderboard, which is kind of funny while I'm recording this right now. So we are on the leaderboards, and we are actually going to be able to do quite some decent progress here with our Delphox, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I had way more success with that one. Then the last set I went 2-3, I think. So a total I went 7-8, so I went negative, which in total I think I lost 40 points, which is kind of what happens if you are in high elo range. It's like literally you even lose points if you go positive sometimes in high elo ranges. So it's still okay, totally fine. I actually expected to lose like 100 something points, but at the end of the day I lost like 40 points. And honestly, if this Pokemon gets buffed, I guess it has way more potential actually. Here we're going to see an Excadrill, and look at this matchup, by the way. This was so much fun. I don't know if we're going to be able to win this game here, but we're going to be able to just barely survive now, thanks to the Mythical Fire here, survive this drill run, and still get to another one, which will allow us to knock out the opponent with 1 HP and a Dream here. Going to be able to now align our Dialga against the opponent's Giratina. I don't think it does really matter, because the Giratina has a lot of energy stored already. They go for the Omnius win first, just for the potential of a boost there, but they're going to have another charge move stored already. Iron Head wouldn't be enough from this range, for sure not, so like I had to go for the Draco Meteor in order to win this game. But sadly it didn't work out. Still kind of funny to see Delphox doing some pretty decent work there. Against a Dialga in the lead, we're going to be able to go ahead and go for one Iron Head here. Of course, this team is, other than Delphox, pretty standard lame. I want to have, of course, the best Pokemon basically together with our Delphox. So yeah. Like, don't just judge me because I am running the Zacian as well as the Dialga. I'm 100% sure that this is very lame for most people because it's the main standard meta, but we have to kind of support our Delphox here. We're actually able to get a shield from the opponent's Mewtwo, as we're going to get one-shotted by this incoming Shadow Ball. I will be able to go ahead and go for an Iron Head with our Dialga against the opponent's Mewtwo. Gonna force the final shield of the opponent, allowing us to shield up the charge move here from the opponent as well. Side Story coming through, I will be able to farm them all the way down. In comes the Dialga, they tried to farm me down, but they didn't think that we were already at the charge move here, knocking them out with our Iron Head. In comes now a Kyogre, and we have to play this like very wisely. I have sadly not really an idea how much Wild Charge is going to do here. I don't think it does one-shot them, so I went straight for the Play Rough here, because then we are not debuffed. And now we have a CMP tie. I have to hope that this is a Surf. And it is a Surf, which we're definitely going to be able to survive there. The Wild Charge is coming through here right now, and this Wild Charge is going to be enough to knock out the opponent, winning us this game here. Amazing gameplay there so far. Next opponent, Garchomp in the lead. Very okay Shield Force, but they're going to be able to win the Zero Shield scenario against us, as they're going to be able to outspeed us to the charge move here, and they can go for the Earth Power. They're swapping out into an Ursaluna, where we're going to be able to resist the fast move with our Dialga. Gonna go for one Iron Head, forcing the shield here because they're going to expect a Draco Meteor instead, and we were able to catch the high horsepower. Of course, high horsepower is still going to do a ton of damage against us here, but it's still better than basically catching that on our Dialga, because Dialga would have went down here like this. We were able to just take this this move, we will be able to go for another play rough here, gonna get them low. They can go for the Thunder Punch now, gonna get us low. They will be able to farm us down. They had also some lag there, but it's still going to be okay. We can go back into our Dialga, farm them all the way down. In comes now a Metagross. I'm gonna go straight for the Draco Meteor. This is going to be our best bet of winning this game here, as you're gonna be able to get the final shield of the opponent, which is amazing for us. We can go into our Delphox, and we're just going to say goodbye to this Delphox, as the Earthquake is going to knock us out. It's all down to Dialga at this point of time. I know already that I'm going to be able to get them pretty low with our Dragon Breath already, so we only have to go for an Iron Head against the opponent's Metagross. We have to get as much energy as possible. This Iron Head is coming through here right now, and we're going to be able to knock them out here, and in comes the Garchomp, and you know already. The Garchomp is not really bulkiest Pokemon, as you're going to be able to go for one Iron Head and knock them out with a few more Dragon Breath. In comes the next opponent, Terrakion. I hated this matchup so much. Honestly, one of the Pokemon that I really would like to build is Terrakion, because this Pokemon is very, very cool to use. It's very spicy, but can break the core between Ho-Oh as well as the Dialga. So it's a very cool Pokemon to play, but sadly I don't have the XL Candy yet. I'm missing like 50 XL Candy or something. But in comes now their own Zacian. I'm gonna go for the Play Rough. They're sadly going to shield this move up here, because, yeah, why not? I will be able to shield up the next charge move against the opponent as well, which is the best play I can do here, as I can go for another Wild Charge, allowing me to now to hopefully farm them down with my Delphox. I just have to get to an Iron Head against the opponent, otherwise, like afterwards there. So we're gonna go ahead, go into our Delphox, let this move go through. It's going to be the Wild Charge. They're running the same moveset as we did with our one. So we know that we're going to be able to survive this incoming charge move, which is going to be a Wild Charge as well. Going to be resisted, and we have to try to get to this Iron Head. But the opponent left the last matchup with a Terrakion with a little bit of energy stored, and this energy going to come in clutch there for them. They will be able to go for another Sacred Sword, knocking me out here, and this is going to be a good game. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. A Zekrom lead, a very decent lead for us. In comes now the Zacian, and we can go ahead and go into our Delphox. I don't really care too much on what the opponent going to try to do here. I will be able to get the debuff here with the Mystical Fire. Gonna do around like half of the opponent's health, allowing me to even get some extra fast moves in here as well. And I will be able to reach the next one in time, but no, they're gonna go ahead and go for another charge move here. They are now debuffed in their HP as well as double debuffed, or like 4 times debuffed in their defense, allowing me to farm them all the way down here with my Quick Attack variant of my Zacian, which is definitely needed here for this kind of matchup, because yeah, you're going to be able to farm down other Zacians a little bit easier. In comes the Zekrom, going to have to take one Play Rough here, and we can swap out, and we're going to see the Ho-Oh coming in. This is going to be a very decent matchup for us here right now. While Ho-Oh usually wins this matchup against us, we're going to be able to go for some Iron Head damage here, going to try to get the shield from the opponent. Very successful as well, as we're going to see the Sacred Fire coming in here right now. And what we can do here is we can just go ahead and go for a Draco Meteor. The opponent has 2 options here, either shield and try to survive with their Ho-Oh, or let this move go through. They're going to shield this move up, but this allows us now to take this next charge move. Sacred Fire coming through, we need 2 more fast moves to get to our Wild Charge. Knock out the opponent's Ho-Oh, we still have a shield left, and we're going to be able to now farm down the opponent's Zekrom as well. Winning us this game here, amazing so far. Honestly, I did not expect that this would work out so well. In comes a Shadow Mamoswine against us. This is going to be not ideal, but let's take a look at what we can do here. In comes now the Avalanche, most likely. They usually just go straight for Avalanche. We're going to be able to win this in the 2-shield scenario, because we can just farm them all the way down. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit tricky. We see him P-Tide here, and the opponent decides to shield this move up. But usually I'm going to get my shield back anyway with the energy that we have stored on our Dialga. In comes the opponent's Dialga. What we're going to do here right now is what you're going to see me do here as well. I'm going to put the opponent with the Dragon Breath damage into range 1 Play Rough. So while we don't have really close combat, we're still going to do enough damage now to put them into a range where we can just... Actually, I think we even get some extra farm after this one, but we're going to put them into a range where the Play Rough will be enough to put them into a range where we can farm down, get some extra energy here, and have a great time. Let's take a look at what's coming in. We're going to see the Giratina coming in. We are forced to go for a charge move here right now as the opponent swaps into their Dialga. This is not Dialga, into their Mamoswine there, which is not really ideal for us. We have to go into our Delphox, sack this Pokemon, and have to hope that our Dialga can somehow still get to a Draco Meteor. Shadow Ball comes in, of course, it's going to one-shot me, and there's not a lot that I can do here at this point of time. And sadly, this Giratina is going to be able to sweep our team end game here, but that's okay, it's totally fine. You cannot win them all. well. Next opponent, Zacian lead. We're going to stay in here for a little bit. We try to go for the Iron Head, as Iron Head going to be super effective and most likely going to get shielded by the opponent. But this would allow us to swap out into our own Zacian here now, which is going to be able to have some great time against the opponent, as we're going to be able to get some extra energy here right now. They're going to go for the Wild Charge. We can shield this move up here. We're going to be able to still keep us healthy, as the opponent is forced to swap out now into a Lugia. And I misplay this match up so hard. And it's really sad to see. You're going to see here the Wild Charge coming through, doing some decent damage against the opponent. They get another charge move through. I would have been able to just go for double Wild Charge and would have been able to just go ahead and knock them out there or get the final shield. I can go for another charge move here, and instead of swapping now into my Dialga, which I should have done, I tried to go for one more fast move just to have the maximum amount of energy basically generated from that one, and basically use with that one there. This is going to be a little bit of an awkward one, as well as the opponent going to be able to go for another charge move against us. Pretty sure this is not an Aero Blast yet, and it wasn't, as you're going to see the opponent coming back in with their Zacian, allowing us to go for another Iron Head here. It's going to do some decent damage. We can farm them all the way down, and in comes now the Yveltal, which has to take the Draco Meteor here, and also because it still survives, we can still show off our Delphox and say goodbye to the opponent. Next one, we're going to see a Dragonite in the lead. This is going to be an interesting one for us. We're going to lose this matchup in the zero shield scenario, but any other shield scenario, we're going to be able to just win because we can farm them down. In comes now Superpower, of course, and we're going to see a Mewtwo coming in. This is really not ideal for us. We can go ahead and go for one Iron Head here against the opponent, and we're going to try to catch a potential Focus Blast from the opponent here onto our Delphox. Let's see how well this worked out. It did not work out at all. They're going to go ahead and go for one more Shadow Ball, and this is not ideal whatsoever, but we can go ahead and go back into our Dialga, go for one Iron Head, try to knock them out. Gonna get them low. They can still go for one more charge move, and of course it's going to be the Shadow Ball as well. So at this point of time, we're not really in a decent spot. They're gonna have a Mamoswine now in the back, and we don't have close combat, so yeah. Not really ideal. I can go ahead and go for one Play Rough. They're still kind of forced to shield this move up because we do quite a lot of damage against them here. I didn't expect that the fast move would already pressure them that much. We're going to let the first move go through here. It's going to be the Avalanche as well, allowing us now to go ahead and hopefully get some more energy against the opponent's Dragonite. Maybe I should have went for Play Rough here. I'm not sure if Play Rough would have been the play. I'm gonna go for the Wild Charge here, which of course takes less energy, but also going to debuff my defenses. So I'm not sure about this one. Maybe I misplayed it there, but I don't think I would have been able to reach a charge move in time anyway. In comes another Dialga Mirror here. I'm gonna be able to go ahead and go for one Iron Head. I'm not going to knock them out sadly, but we're still going to get them pretty low with that one, which is okay. We have to shield this move up. It's going to be a Draco Meteor, so their energy dry. In comes now the Lugia, where we're going to retaliate now with our Zacian again. Going to be able to double resist the fast move damage from the opponent, as they can go for an Aero Blast here, as they're going to be able to now take those Wild Charge definitely pretty easily, as they're going to do around half of the opponent's health. Can overform back quite a bit, try to get close to another one here, and gonna get to another charge move as well. Wild Charge going to knock out the opponent's Lugia, and in comes a Groudon. This is not a good matchup whatsoever. Like, this is going to be such a bad matchup for me to play. I am forced to go into my Dialga. I'm forced to try to go for a charge move here. Let's see what the opponent is going to do here. They're going to go for the Fire Punch, and they're going to swap into their own Dialga. I can swap out in time. Still have 1 HP left on my own Dialga, but I can farm down the opponent's Dialga there with my Delphox. And now it's Delphox against the Groudon. And honestly, I did not expect this one. We will be able to now go ahead and go for the shield. They're gonna go for the bait. Fine for me. I can go for my Mystical Fire, going to get the opponent's attack lowered with that one. And they're going to be forced to shield this move up. I will be able to get them now into one Dragon Breath range, but we don't even need it as they go for the Fire Punch. And this was not enough to knock me out, and we will be able to win this game there as well. Going to the final one, another Mamoswine in the lead. I don't really like Mamoswine leads against my Dialga. Honestly, I really don't like this matchup for me. For Mamoswine, it's a pretty decent matchup to be fair, but yeah, like for Dialga, not really ideal to be fair, as they're going to be able to go ahead and shield up the charge move. I'm going to be able to go ahead and try to farm them all the way down here as well. Let's see, we're going to go for the shield against the Avalanche, and they're going to go into their own Dialga. We do the same play as usual. We're going to go up to a 1 Draco Meteor, a little bit higher even so the opponent knows that we're definitely going to be there. And we can swap out now into our Zacian, trying to get some extra energy from this Dialga here, as you're going to see the Iron Head coming our way. Going to do a ton of damage, going to put us into the right half, as we can go for our own play rough here, trying to get them low enough that we can farm them down, and we can knock them out here as well. In comes now the opponents. Let's see. Mamoswine again. We will be able to not get to another charge move sadly, so it's going to really depend on what they're going to have in the back here. Can we deal with the opponent's backline there with our Delphox? Let's see. It's going to be a Lugia, and I misplay this. I should have swapped out here already. I should have swapped out way earlier, because now the opponent going to be able to outspeed my Delphox to a charge move, and one Aeroblast going to be sadly enough to knock us out. And yeah, this is going to be it for this video. Delphox definitely better than expected in the Master League. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like on the video. It would help me out quite a bit. Otherwise, you see here on the top, on the screen right now, on the right side, the top teams for this meta. And on the left side, my recent video as well for Delphox in the Ultra League. So check those videos out if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.